Welcome, everyone. It's Release to Results. It's the Course in Miracles Workbook Letting Go series. And what has been between you and your holiness and recognizing it in the world you see? It's what we've been unpacking and going through and letting go of through this series. And today we're going to continue with that in lesson 37. My holiness blesses the world. And so we're going to look at some of these feelings that might be blocking our blessing the world. And all that letting go is allowing that energy to come up without judging it or moralizing it. Noticing, oh, I've been holding this feeling, allowing it to come up and move, and taking what I've been holding and letting go of it. It's that simple. It's just a choice to notice it, acknowledge it, allow it, and let it go. What frequently happens in spiritual communities and people is there's this idea that this energy is bad and I shouldn't have it. And so it gets suppressed and packed down rather than acknowledged, allowed up, and released. It's okay that you've been having these feelings, and now here's your chance to let them go. So we'll take this idea for the day, my holiness blesses the world, and start to allow this energy to move. Anything that's blocking this blessing of the world. My holiness blesses the world. So, looking around the room, could you notice the things in your space and just settling on one thing at a time? My holiness blesses this chair, this person, this cup. Could be anything. And does this thing need to be special to get your blessing? Is there something that needs to change about it before it can be worthy of your holy blessing? Well, maybe it's a little damaged, maybe dirty, cheap. It's going to be whatever comes up for you out of the unconscious, out of the subconscious. Anything that has this not deserving of your blessing. And could you go behind the thoughts, the pictures, the imaginings about this, and just notice this energy of unworthiness of blessing? And without making right or wrong of it, could you just let any stuck energy move that's been stored? Could you open up to it, feel it? And it's just a choice. Could you let any or all of this energy go? Would you let this energy go? When could you let this energy go and allow your holiness to bless this thing? And if it doesn't happen for you, that's okay. It's a process. And as we go through these different objects, that same energy is going to keep moving and keep clearing if you allow it. So letting your gaze fall upon something else in the space, my holiness blesses this thing. And it might seem like that thing is in some way unworthy of your holy blessing. Not enough. It might not. So just allowing anything to come up that would keep you from blessing this with your holiness. And behind the story, behind these sounds in the mind, these images, could you allow that energy of withholding your holiness, however it's showing up? It's not necessary to label it. Could you feel this feeling just for now? And could you release this energy? Would you release this energy? When could you release and allow your holiness to bless this thing? And allowing your gaze to shift to something else in your space. My holiness blesses this, whatever it is. And oftentimes, there could be something other than a blessing that occurs when you look at this object, and that's okay. Could you notice any ideas of anything that you'd be putting upon this object other than your holy blessing? Again, it's okay. Just noticing what comes up for you. What's wrong with it? What's right with it? What you like about it? What you don't like about it? And behind these thoughts about this object, could you notice whatever energy, whatever feelings coming up other than a holy blessing? And could you allow that energy to come up so it can be surrendered? So it can be let go? Could you let the energy move? Could you feel it more? Could you allow more of it up? And could you surrender this feeling? Would you surrender this feeling? Give it up. When could you surrender this feeling and allow yourself to give your sight of a holy blessing on this thing? My holiness blesses this thing. And maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Just allowing this process to work upon you. And now let's go within. My holiness blesses the world. Could you close your eyes and just repeat the idea for the day to yourself? My holiness blesses the world. My holiness blesses the world. And could you allow a person to come to your mind? Any person, an enemy, a friend, family, an acquaintance. My holiness blesses this person. And could you notice what comes up for you other than your holy blessing upon this person? And it's okay, whatever comes up. Maybe they need to give you something to get the blessing. Maybe they need to sneeze. That's an excuse people give for allowing a blessing. Could you just notice if there's anything other than a blessing happening on this person you're holding in mind? Any reason for withholding a blessing or that they would be deserving of your holy blessing? And could you notice the feeling that's been carried other than a holy blessing upon this person? And could you open up without judging or moralizing about what's coming up and let this feeling move, let this energy move as best you can? Could you sit with this feeling without trying to change it or make it different? Just noticing this feeling. And could you release this feeling? Would you release this feeling? When could you release this feeling and allow yourself to bless this person with your holiness? And it's okay if it happens, it's okay if it's not. Just continuing to move any energy that's been stuck or stored other than blessing the world with your holiness. Could you keep your eyes closed? My holiness blesses the world. And allowing people to go through your mind. There's all these people, and taking any person that comes through your mind, bringing them before you in your mind. My holiness blesses you, and name them. My holiness blesses you, their name. And without making good or bad of what comes up for you, could you notice anything in the unconscious, the subconscious, or even conscious that's other than a blessing for this person? They're good this way, they're bad this way. I like this about them, I don't like this about them. If they give this to me, then I will give them my blessing. I will give them my holy blessing if they do this. Anything other than a feeling of your holy blessing upon them, could you acknowledge it and allow it? Could you welcome this energy to move, unstick, so it can go? Could you ignore the thoughts and just feel this feeling that's been stored so it can go? And could you let it go? Would you let it go? You never have to. And when could you let it go? And allow your holiness to bless this person. And with the eyes closed, my holiness blesses the world. My holiness blesses the world. And allowing these people in the world to come through your mind, noticing all these different people, and taking one who comes to mind now, bringing them before you in the mind. My holiness blesses you, naming them. My holiness blesses you. And maybe it seems authentic. Maybe you really are able to just bless them with your holiness. So, checking in if it seems like in any way they are unworthy of this blessing, undeserving, any error you're clinging to that they may have made, any wronging them or righting them. Just noticing anything other than blessing them with your holiness that may have been done in the past or may be coming up now. And it's okay without making good or bad of what's coming up for you. Could you go behind the story about this person and notice any feeling that's been carried other than a holy blessing for them? Why? To get it up, to allow it up, to clear it, that you may deliver a pure and holy blessing. Could you allow up this energy that's other than that? Whatever it is, no label necessary. Could you open up, let it up, let it move, and just feel it, just for now? And could you, just for now as well, let that go, give it up, surrender it? Always optional. And would you surrender this energy, give it up, let it go? When could you surrender anything other than your holy blessing upon this person? And then my holiness blesses you. Just allowing that. And could you, in this moment, allow your holiness to bless this person? Maybe it seems a little more possible, a little more real now. My holiness blesses you, naming them. And opening your eyes and allowing yourself to look around your space, whatever your gaze lights upon. My holiness blesses this chair, desk, whatever you're looking at. My holiness blesses this. Could you allow your holiness to bless this other thing you're looking at? My holiness blesses this, whatever you're looking at. Could you allow that? And closing your eyes again and letting someone come before your mind, come in. Could you look at them? My holiness blesses you. Could you allow that blessing upon this person? and letting someone else come to mind, bringing them before you in your imagining. My holiness blesses you, naming the person. Could you allow that? Would you allow it more? As another person comes before your mind, just taking anyone, my holiness blesses you, naming them. And noticing how it feels to allow your holiness to bless these things and people. Also, it's okay if other things are coming up other than that. That's the next thing to allow up, acknowledge, feel, and release. Could you go through today and bless the world with your holiness and release anything else you're doing besides blessing it? Not making wrong of it, not making bad of you, simply going through this process that the Course in Miracles workbook and letting go, releasing takes us through. Letting go of anything that isn't real, that never existed. Could you return to the reality of your holiness and bless the world you see? For the Course in Miracles suggests your purpose, your true function is to bless the world you see through your own holiness. And perhaps there's a lot of stuff other than your holiness blessing the world going on. It might seem like that. Well, would you please join us for our community of people who are letting it all go? Anything other than that. We're released to results where you get 14 days free access to 100 plus live sessions every month, hundreds of session replays, our community of people who are doing this. Align yourself with people who are letting go of negative energy. And I'll also send you the books we use for this process: Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, The Stairway to Enlightenment, and the Sedona method, all for free when you visit at releasetoresults.com. What would you choose to have, do, and be if you could choose anything? And would you allow yourself to release any energy that's out of alignment with that? Come join us and do just that at releasetoresults.com. And I look forward to seeing you in more of these live sessions. Have the best